Hi everyone, I welcome you to Yoga with Shivani. Today's practice, I will be taking you through simple stretches that really helps the shoulder mobility, expansion, opening in a way of feeling just more relaxed, right? So when the body relaxes, I really feel yoga is a practice where you can experience the mind and the body connection, right? When the body begins to open, lengthen, it has an impact on our nervous system, right? So if you have two blocks with you, that would be great. If not, go ahead and have some books, which could be a little thicker with a hard cover, so we can make use of the things that we have in our house. And also, we will work the strength and the flexibility of the hips and the legs. So let's go ahead and get started. So let's begin with one block or two blocks. If you have a cushion, you can use that as well. So what we will do is to stretch out our the tops of your feet, working the strength and the flexibility of our ankles, the shin, and the knees, right? Also opening the front of your thighs. So we can have one block. As you can see, I'm setting one block, and you can try if you're able to sit your hips on the block, having the toes pointing all the way back. And if this feels too tight in a way that you cannot hold this position for a little, I would say like a minute, see if you can take another block, or you can have two cushions as well, right? So I'm going to use the prop by having the hips to be resting on the block. That gives much more space around the ankle area. What you really want is to press and point the toes in backward direction, right? So begin to activate your legs, rest your hands on your thighs, and focus on lifting the chest, right? So just a movement from here, you can see as I use my fingers to lift through the sternum area, shoulders drawn back, and elbows facing a little back. And we focus on just finding that nice opening into the front of the body, just very simply, palms facing up, shoulders drawn back. As you're again sitting nice and tall, we are going to simply lift the arms, right? You want to reach your right hand a little higher. You can clearly see that I'm opening the sides of my body, and then you lengthen through your left arm, right? The hands could be feeling a little closer to the ears, and that's absolutely fine. And then on the exhalation, breathe out and stretch your hands sideways. Now I want to pull your right hand a little to the right, and then use your left hand to balance the body. Pull that left hand to the left. Roll the shoulders back and down, and open up your chest, right? So your shoulders more open. And just feel the work is happening in your shoulder area and also your hands. Now from here, begin to flip your palms facing up, and then turn your right hand all the way, right? So it's, you're trying to internally rotate, and then try to do the similar with the left. And then your right hand opens, your left palm faces up. Let's do it together. Palms facing back and up. Now reach your hands all the way up towards the sky. The palms may touch. Exhale the hands to your heart. Now interlock your fingers, bring your hands behind your head, open up your elbows sideways. You want to push the head slightly back, not the hands pushing the head forward, right? So that those things change completely the way we experience the postures and the impact of the postures on our nervous system. Exhale, relax your hands, and breathe. Further into our practice, take your time to shift the weight into your hands and release the block, and see if you can come into a easy sit position, right? You can be sitting on a block. That always helps to further open up the thighs, the hips, the knees facing sideways. And again, what we are trying to do is to find length, right? So always focus on elongation. You're trying to lift the spine in upward direction. And take your right hand to the left knee. Keep your chest lifted. And then take your left hand back and try to look towards the back. And then similarly, take your left hand to the right, elongate, exhale, twist. Now come back to the center, relax. You're going to have your fingers to your shoulders and bring your elbows to touch together. Now inhale, lift your elbows up, hold this, do it nice and slow. You can really feel the work. Open your elbows sideways and see if you can take them back. And then you're facing the elbows, pointing the elbows, facing down. Then bring them forward, touch the elbows. Let's do it one more time. Up, sideways, backward, down, forward, touch. Now let's switch. Bring the elbows down, back, side, up, forward, touch. One more time. Elbows down, sideways, lifting all the way up, forward, touch, relax, right? If so, what we can experience is working very slowly. You really begin to feel the work. So always when it comes to practice, focus on the key concept of moving with energy, right? You want to really engage the body into the energetics. And now we will be moving up with the section of the hips and the legs. All right, so meet me onto your hands on your knees, and definitely blocks would help, or like I said, any sort of a hardcover books that can help, like our props. So let's point the right toes facing out to the side. Right knee facing right. Notice the position of your right knee over the ankle, and then take one block. I'm putting the other block on the side and bring the block to your heart. You want to, again, focus on key alignment, heel to the knee, knee over the ankle, toes facing the knee, pointing towards the direction of your toes. Now take a block. The block has 3 heights, and you can always kind of reduce the height slowly, progressively. And you just want to open up the front of your hips. Notice if the hips are going back, what you want to do is inhale, exhale, squeeze the hips to open up the front of your body. Then rest your right hand on the block. You're going to push that right hand on the block, spin that left shoulder back. And if this is not feeling much, like I said, you can begin to reduce the height of the block. You want to spin that left shoulder back. Focus on stretching laterally through the left side of your body. And you're breathing in, and hold. You may elongate your left arm, press into your right to lift the left arm. You're going to stay here for a couple of breaths. And engaging in breathing in and out through the nose. So if the breathing is relaxed, we are probably in a right alignment and position. Now let's take your left hand to the waist, pick up your right block and bring it back to your heart. Now you can keep your right block to the right, take the left block and rest it to the left side of your body. Now take your right hand, move your right knee further as much as you can. Of course, no pain in the joints, right? So where the body is, again, these practices change. So you want to feel the work, opening, stretching your right knee to the right. Now maintain the chest open and take your left hand either on a block, or you can slowly rest your fingers to the ground. Now again, what we're doing is opening the right side of the body, stretch your right hand and reach it away from the right knee, right? You want to move the right knee sideways, take your right hand, stretching back. You can turn your head and reach fingers and the thumb together, looking to your fingertips or wherever the neck feels relaxed, forward, down, and breathe. And then inhale, come back and rest your hands to the hips. Then bring your right knee in, the toes. All right, so let's switch to the left side. So again, as you can see, the left toes point out. So these are transitions, right? There are multiple ways to do that. But we are, again, when we think of transitions, we work more intentionally at a movement. That also helps with mobility, right? So your left toes pointing left, and then your left heel faces the right knee. And then you take the blocks, keep them a little to the side, and just pick up your hands to the waist and open up the front of your hips. You want to lengthen your lower back, lift, engage through the center of your body, and relax. Take your left hand and see if you'd like to take your knee moving in the direction of your toes. So focus on opening into the left hip. Now, one option is to stay here. The other one is to bring the hand on the block. And you may notice the left side could be different, right? More open, more tight, or it could also be balanced. So we are not forcing anything. We are just becoming more aware of the body, of the balance, of the breath. Breathe in, breathe out, and again, press to elongate. Focus your eyes at a point you can concentrate, right? So again, the hand can be touching down. You can even stay on your fingers, and you want to use your upper arm to press gently against your thigh and the shin. So the body is working with each other, different parts of the body to support the movement. And reach and take one deep breath in and a deep breath out. Now, very slowly open up your arms. Take the block, right hand, rest it to the side, and you want to now slowly move the knee left. And you're breathing, right? You're being more aware how the breath feels. Find that balance between effort and ease. Rest your right fingertips on the block, open up the chest, and now move that left hand away from the left knee. And breathe. Try to spin that left side of your body. Long breath in, long breath out. Now inhale, open your arms, rest your hands to the waist, and let's come back with the same intention, knee down, toes to the second, kneeling position. All right, from kneeling position, time to again take the blocks and bring the blocks facing towards the front. So I'm going to be showing from the side. You take the blocks, and again, you can utilize any height, but know that the height which is the least is very stable, especially when it comes to arm balancing, right? So we are just aware that as we go up, it kind of increases the instability. So always use your core. Do not rely on just hands kind of pushing into the blocks. Now step your right foot in between the blocks or your hands and pick up your back knee off the mat. You want to slide your left toes as far back you possibly can. You want to push your hands into the ground or your mat, micro bend the left knee, and slowly begin to pick up your torso and see if you can feel the work happening into the left hip flexors. Now you may bend your right knee, and that is a lot of body weight that actually we're working. We're working the strength of the hips, of course, the legs. So everything is kind of interrelated, interconnected in the practice of yoga, right? That's the beauty, that it's not just one, knee or the hip or the ankle. Everything works together to support the movement. Now you may slowly rest your left knee to the mat. Bring the blocks right under your shoulders. Now pick up your back knee. See if you can turn it slightly at an angle and then push into the outer edge of your back foot. Right hip moves back, your left hip a little forward. So you're trying to balance and have the hips facing to the front. And notice that right knee begins to extend, right? Always keep it very little, like a little micro bend, so we are not hyperextending. And pressing into your toes and moving the chest forward. So I'd like to show you again. If you watch my back, I am leading with the heart forward and the hips begin to go back. And you feel that intense stretch into the hamstrings to the right side, elongation into your spine. And try not to overdo these stretches, right? So with time, with practice, when one things become a little easy, then you begin to move progressively into more deeper sensations. You could be resting the hands on the mat, shoulders facing forward, and bringing your chin to the shin. And rest and relax. And the same thing to come out of the position, just like we entered. Bring the fingertips onto the mat, lift yourself halfway, spin your left toes forward, rebend your left knee, and bring your hands to your heart and relax. Let's switch to the other side. So let's step the left foot in between the blocks, pick up the back knee off the mat, slide the leg as far back as you can. You want to relax the hip, especially that left hip. Avoid lifting way too high, right? So, of course, if you feel this is fine, but over time you may feel that you're really beginning to strengthen, relax, and again, using our body weight to work the strength of the joints. Now, your right knee a little bent. Bring your hands under your shoulders, and then begin to lift the chest nice and slow. Your mind connected to the left big toe, your right toes. So focus on stabilization, right? You want the body to be still. Very important. The first thing what we practice in yoga is stability, right? Relax and breathe. And you can open the back of your right knee if that feels fine without compromising on the spine. You can keep it bent, extend. And then begin to bring your hands to the block. And then turn your right foot slightly at an angle, your left hip back. Again, halfway hold. So you're leading with your chest forward, hips back. Again, I'm going to show you if the back is rounding. Again, bend the left knee a little or a lot to keep your chest forward, a little extension in the spine. And then on the exhalation, maintaining that nice elongation, you can relax in the forward fold. Find moderation in the stretches always. Relax and relax. And then bring your hands onto the blocks. Spin your right toes, rest your right knee, take your left knee back, and we switch to the next exercise. All right, so what we're going to do now is warrior two position, very classic foundational posture that works a lot of things, but most importantly, the hip and the strength of the legs. So let's go ahead and get started by having the right and the left leg out to the side. And there's also another way to do it, right? So you can begin to bend, jump the feet together, and then bend the knees, open up the legs sideways. Big toes a little in, inner and the outer edges of the feet kind of pushing into the ground. Lift your right toes, the balls of your right foot, spin it onto your right heel, plant the right foot. Shoulders to the hips, expand through the arms, fingers, the thumb touching. Together, roll the shoulders back and down. Keep the sides of the neck nice and long. Take a long inhalation. Press into your entire right foot, your outer and the inner edge of your left foot. And go ahead to bend the knee. Now you may want to bring your attention to your right knee. Notice if the knee is kind of falling in towards the midline, right, towards the center of your body. Now take it a little out in a way that your hip feels open and your knee is tracking towards your second or around your third toe, right? So give it a little opening with your right hand and keep the chest expansive, arms open wide, and feel the strength and the balance. Warrior two, Virabhadrasana. Breathing in and out. Let's try to hold it for 5 breaths. So that must already be 3 or 4 breaths. You can sit a little lower if that feels fine, keeping the stomach muscles lifted. And then change position. Right toes in, breathing in, open up the arms, spin onto your left heel, plant your balls of your feet and your toes, and sit low. Concentrate, open up your left knee a little back, right? Use your hand or just the knee, kind of working the inner strength and the muscles of the inner left leg, right? And sit nice and low. And stomach active, which means the muscles, you're trying to lift that navel in and up slightly. And breathe. Now notice if the breathing is the key in the practice. If the breath is kind of shallow, maybe we are pushing a lot, so you need to lift up a lot, right? And if you don't feel much, you need to relax more and find that balance of lightness, of ease in the moments of discomfort, right? So yoga balancing the effort with ease. Breathing in, exhale, rest your hands. toes in. You may bring the heels in this time, toes in, heels in, toes in, heels in. All right, so I'm going to stop here for today, and I will be coming back with another tutorial in some time. And in the meanwhile, if you are following me and you're practicing with me, one of the best advice or the tips that I can give people who are new to the practice is, rather than think of doing a lot, see how we can really work with the few postures, positions, movements, and really create more opening, more relaxation, more stability to then kind of make our way towards more complex positions. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I hope to see you soon. Thanks so much for watching Yoga with Shivani.